assign it, or?
Yeah, thank you. The detail of that is online in that whole description of the program. We do lesson plans for the teacher. So it's a very turnkey situation, because that's what we found was not only they don't have the capacity to develop it. So we've got a complete lesson plan with videos that they introduce the overall topic. So they introduce the sustainability health issues, for example, and then we've got videos that we've collected for them. Then we have the questions to get the class discussion going. We've got answers, because the teacher said, Maureen, I can't ask a question I don't know the answer to. It's terrifying. You don't understand. So we've got answers to the leading questions, and then the students break into the small groups, or action circles we call them, and they're each given an action pack that they choose. So within health, one group would choose preservatives, and others would choose pesticides. Someone would choose GMOs, for example. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks very much.
The next organization is called Miles of Smiles, and I'll ask Rick to come up.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
So who here is afraid of going to the dentist? Well, you don't have to be afraid of us. We don't do the drills and pills or any of that stuff, so we're the good guys. What I want to talk to you about is a company that my wife and I started up last year. We came to the market in January of 2012. And I'm just trying to find my presentation here. Sorry. Okay, so the whole idea of mobile is the trend for the future. People nowadays are busier than ever, and trying to take time away from their workplace to accommodate a dental visit or going and getting your oil changes done, etc., is really becoming problematic. People are working a lot longer hours, and it makes it very difficult to get time away, let alone you're losing time. It's paid time that you're losing, and at the same time it's productivity decrease for the employers. When we started this up, my wife was looking for a change. She was looking for something different than working in a dental office. So rather than leaving the industry, I said to her, let's look at the mobile. There is nobody doing it from the perspective that we are. Mobile dental hygiene is not a brand new topic. However, when I present it to people, people go, I've never heard of it. And that is because hygienists typically will default from going in private practice to working in long-term care facilities for senior people that are sick and infirm. Basically what we want to do is we want to take this and go to corporate locations. 60% of my target market is going into the offices, taking all the equipment in portably and facilitating dental hygiene on site. The other 20% would be doing the personal residences, and another 20% going to senior facilities. One of the things that I've learned is that you can never, even though everybody has teeth and everybody needs to go to the dentist, not everybody is our client. And we have to sort of target down who are we going after. And to us, our main focus is going on the corporate. We've got a 6-page document that outlines the direct impact on companies in Canada. 2009 StatsCan survey shows 4.15 million sick days lost in 2009 pertinent to dental-related absenteeism, that alone. So a huge loss to companies for productivity. I'm going to scroll through this fairly quickly here because we don't have a whole lot of time. One of the things we're going to look to do is after we've got the prototype proved out and we've got our numbers looking the way that they should, we're going to look to franchises. We will be keeping the Lower Mainland as a corporate entity, and anywhere that we cannot facilitate ourselves, we will then be looking to award franchises. We've trademarked in Canada. We have a trademark pending in the United States. The idea is, if anybody here heard of the Nurse Next Door franchise, basically home health care, very similar model from a certain perspective. And that is, people will be given a territory. You're looking at about a 60,000 population gross density for the franchise, about $80,000 to buy their equipment and get licensed. As I say, we launched in 2012 at the dental conference in Vancouver to great fanfare. I always joke that our 10 by 10 booth was overflowing. It was like we were at a teen convention. We had Justin Bieber in the booth. It was crazy because people, this whole idea just was such a novel approach to them. They got really excited about it. Our obstacle is this, and I mean this with all respect to hygienists. My wife's a hygienist, so I can say this. Hygienists are technicians, and technicians get kind of bogged down in details. And so what happens is that they lose the whole business model, and when you tell them that they have to sell, they have to go out and get contracts, they panic. And so that's one thing that I want the MBA program to help us look at is how can we market this in a way that takes the fear factor away. Dentists typically would also be the other clientele we'd be targeting for our franchises. Only those two can own a franchise because it's a very heavily regulated industry. So we want to basically get the point across that it's not as scary as you may think, it's not as hard as you may think. We're doing all the hard groundwork right now by sort of establishing who we are. 18 to 24 months is when we want to have our first franchise operational. And the long-term goals is 50 plus. That's a very realistic number. Nurse Next Door is sitting, I think, at 55 or so across Canada. They're going down to the US market now, and they've been around for about 6 years. We've done everything. There hasn't been a stone left unturned, even for safety for our franchisees and the hygienists. There's a wristwatch that they wear that basically goes to a monitoring station in the event of somebody being aggressive with them or even having a patient have a medical emergency. They would simply push the little red cross on the top left, goes to a monitoring station, and it tells by cellular and GPS their location, and it keys up a speaker and a microphone so they have instant access to 911. This is what our equipment looks like. People ask us, we had a good question earlier, does it compromise quality or is there any differences? No, it does not compromise it at all. As I say, we're heavily regulated in the industry. This equipment is designed by a company called Aseptico in Seattle. It's been designed for the Canadian and US military for use out in the field, so it's very robust. It does exactly the same thing. You have your suction, you have your water, you have the power for the polishing tool. Exactly the same thing. The patient chair holds a patient 350 pounds, very robust as well. Weighs 27 pounds, easily portable. This is our vehicle right now. Currently what we're doing is we're using the Scion XB, and the Toyota RAV4 is our alternative if somebody's looking for a four-wheel drive vehicle. All the equipment goes portably into the back of the little vehicle. When they're ready to go, we put it onto a four-wheel dolly and put a little cargo net over it, and away we go. It's very easy to do. Setup takes about 15 minutes or so. Training, they get all kinds of training, including there's also the Crestcom Bulletproof Manager course, which is a one-year program. So we've designed a lot of programs internally to help our franchisees understand how to become a business person, because that's really what they need to learn. Typical workday, very simple. Prepared setup, make sure all your equipment's good to go, drive to the location, set up, as I say, 15 minutes, treat the clients or client, process payment, tear down, drive to the next one. It's a very straightforward process. In a perfect world, we would love to service about 5 to 8 patients at one location. So that is why the corporate model works very well, because typically you're going to go in, we're going to look for a larger company, somebody with a call center or something to that extent, and service all the patients we can in one day. Very good business plan was put together with works of an MBA. And you're looking at, if they follow the business model, Scotiabank actually loved our business plan. They actually, the head office down in Vancouver said it was one of the best business plans they've seen to date. If you follow our business model, you're looking at, where are we at? First year, you're looking at about 90,000, and by month 10, you should be break even. Not many companies out there can be break even first year. Second year, between 120 and 150 gross revenue. Third year, approximately 200. That's one hygienist working one vehicle in their territory. Very easy to expand in that area with more vehicles as well. We figure that you can have up to 3 vehicles. Running through this real quick here, we're sort of covered off who our target market is. Really important to remember, guys, is the time factor. This is where we're telling people is that in business nowadays, people are working longer and longer days. And so for them to get the time away to go to a dentist, I know one woman who's a business manager, 6 blocks away is her dentist office. She says, I can never get there. So the whole idea is we come to you. The critical point that makes us so valuable is the fact that we do not charge anything more than the dental fee guide. So we're not putting a premium on top of it. That's very rare. Typically, if you have somebody bringing services to you, there's an additional surcharge of 30 or 40%. We are the same as if you went and took the time to go to a dental office. So you think about the win-win there. We will bill directly to people's insurance benefits. We have a portable Interact machine for processing payment. And as I said, we follow the provincial fee guide. Very straightforward business model, but we feel that what we've done with the branding, everything is branded. All of our scrubs for the hygienists, our uniforms, everything that we have has Miles of Smiles on it and has been very clean and laid out. So we're very excited about it. We want to make Miles of Smiles the brand for dental hygiene and make that right across Canada and eventually down in the United States. Anything I can answer for you guys? Oh, by the way, we're looking for, if we can get more than one MBA to apply on this, the reason for that is that I want to get a cross-section of people's mindsets. The more people that we can get working on this, I think we can overcome some of the little barriers to entry. We are really educating the public about dental hygiene and the fact that we're here and we come to you and we don't charge anymore. And so it's strategy planning and people contributing. That's the real thing what we need right now. So questions?
I was just wondering, what exactly will the MBA students be working on? Will it be the marketing?
The marketing side, yes, absolutely. It's going to be helping us to plan how to get our message out there. Because one of the things that we've encountered is that print media, it's far too expensive, and we really feel that it's a dinosaur. It just doesn't give an ROI. I've even started looking at the aspect of trying to do going to the print people and saying, listen, if you don't have an ad by closing, we'll gladly put one in, but at a greatly reduced rate. They want to get their ads filled up. But to just put an ad in the paper or in a magazine or whatever, it just is a huge waste of money. Huge waste of money. So we're working our social media sites, Twitter, Facebook as well, but we're just trying to get the marketing aspect.
So again, to clarify, is it to market to corporate clients or to market to possible franchisers?
Basically what we want to do is first we have to get the prototype really solid. That's what I want to do. I want to get it so that we have a consistent message that works for us with the corporate client, so that we have a very low resistance to that. Trying to figure out how to get to the decision makers as well. I'll tell you right now, one of the things that I have a hard time with is getting past the gatekeepers.